Online education platform Coursera has released a report that explores the motivations, needs, and challenges of students pursuing a degree and employers seeking to hire them in the UAE and Saudi Arabia. And I'm joined by the global CEO of Coursera, Jeff Maggioncalda. Thanks so much for joining us today. Now, tell us about the opportunities for growth in the regional education sector and the major challenges we're currently facing.
Yeah, I think that we really have a pretty amazing opportunity here in the Middle East and the Gulf Coast countries in particular. I'm now in Dubai and was just at the World Government Summit, and there's, of course, lots of interest in talking about the need for human capital development, investing in people, particularly young people. I think the opportunity is, frankly, there's a lot of young people and a world of opportunity out there if only we can provide them with the right kinds of skills and education. The challenge is that historical systems have been either a bit limited in access or slow to adapt. But I think online learning can really help change that.
Certainly was a major topic at WGS this year. And what impact would you say that apps like ChatGPT and Google's Bard and Baidu's upcoming AI app are going to have on the regional workforce?
I think there's a number of things. I think partly what it does is it changes the way that people are able to learn. What we're working on at Coursera are ways of integrating ChatGPT and other large language models into Coursera to make the learning more personalized and much more interactive. So if you think about, years ago when YouTube came out, it was passive learning. You'd watch a video and just sort of sit back. With Coursera and others, you can watch a video and then respond to it. So we call that active learning. But I think the really interesting thing with some of these technologies is the ability to have interactive learning where you'll learn something, you can ask a question, it'll give you a response, it can give you feedback on what you provided. You can even do role plays and simulations. So I think it's going to be much more personalized and much more interactive on the learning front. On the job front, I think it's going to have a big impact on almost every job that deals with language.
I think you're absolutely right. And I mean, in terms of the regional workforce adequately upskilling during this tech age, are they doing so when many jobs are quickly becoming obsolete?
Well, we are seeing a lot of demand. I mean, clearly with the pandemic, when 1.6 billion people had their schools closed, many people went online and got their first taste of online learning. What we're seeing now is really a continuation of people wanting to get more access to learning, and especially the skills to do these digital jobs. People are coming directly on their own as individuals, but now we're working with the Ministry of Education, we're working with businesses, we're working with universities as well to integrate online learning into the way people learn at work and into the way that people learn even in the university setting.
And how important would you say are these micro-credentials in the modern work realm in the GCC? Are they as useful or even perhaps more useful than traditional degrees?
Well, I think that they're obviously not mutually exclusive, but I think they're very important. One of the things that these allow us to do is to create online training programs that are really specific to certain job roles, like high demand jobs, including software engineering, data science, UX, design, and project management. We just did a big survey, as you mentioned, across 11 countries, including the UAE. And we found that among students, when we ask about how important they think that these certificates are, 97% of students that were interviewed in the UAE said that they would like to get a professional certificate while they're pursuing their college degree. And 77% of employers said that they'd be more likely to interview a student who has both a degree and a professional certificate. So I think these can really kind of go together in a hybrid way. A college degree and an industry micro-credential will really help round out an application for a job applicant.
Very complimentary and to one another. And just tell us before we let you go, the most in-demand jobs that you foresee in the GCC over the next 5 years.
Well, I think there's a lot of jobs that are being created in hospitality and leisure. I mean, there's Saudi Arabia, I think the last report from Q3 of 2022 said that they had 14% annualized job creation, followed by Qatar at 7%, UAE at 3%. I mean, these jobs are kind of across the board. parts of the jobs that are opening up are in country, and a lot of that is kind of what's happening here. Of course, lots of ITs, but a lot of these digital jobs are actually global and can be done almost from anywhere. The top global demand jobs include computer science jobs, data science jobs, and there's a whole lot of jobs in user experience design and other sales and marketing jobs. So really, there's still a huge increase in the demand for people with digital skills.
Okay, thanks so much for your insights. Global CEO of Coursera, Jeff Maggioncalda.